In some international news now, it's big victory for opposition conservatives in Germany. Opposition leader Merz's conservatives are all set to form a government in Germany after Olaf Scholz conceded defeat. While celebrating with the party workers, Merz said he was prepared for the polls and this victory. Also that he doesn't know how many partners the Conservatives will need for a majority in parliament. The coalition talks are on. The outgoing German Chancellor has taken full responsibility of the disappointing poll results for them.
Weil CDU und CSU gut zusammengearbeitet haben und wir uns sehr, sehr gut vorbereitet haben auf diese Bundestagswahl und auch auf die Übernahme der Regierungsverantwortung. Ich möchte zuallererst Markus Söder herzlich danken, dem Parteivorsitzenden der CSU. Vielen Dank für die sehr, sehr gute Zusammenarbeit von CDU und CSU.
Das ist ein bitteres Wahlergebnis für die Sozialdemokratische Partei. Das ist auch eine Wahlniederlage. Das, finde ich, muss bei dem Ergebnis einmal am Anfang klar und deutlich gesagt werden. Und für mich ist auch ganz wichtig zu sagen, das ist ein Ergebnis, aus dem wir gemeinsam nach vorne gehen müssen. Und deshalb möchte ich mich erst einmal bedanken bei all denjenigen, die möglich gemacht haben, dass wir die letzten Wochen und Monate so gekämpft haben. Die Umfragen wurden nicht besser. Trotzdem haben überall in Deutschland Sozialdemokratinnen und Sozialdemokraten aktiv Wahlkampf gemacht.
Wir haben ein historisches Ergebnis eingefahren. Wir waren noch nie stärker im Bund. Wir sind zweitstärkste Kraft geworden als Alternative für Deutschland und wir haben uns als Volkspartei nun fest verankert.
How do you look at the first statement, one of the earliest statements that have been made by the incoming Chancellor, talking about the fact that there has to be independence, quote unquote, from Trump's America, and also talking about NATO being soon dead?
Thank you, Sneha, for having me on the program. Well, Germany, of course, has a new chancellor. As expected, the Conservative Alliance of the CDU and the CSU has won the election. I think the first question will be who they will form a coalition with. And this will need to be a workable and stable coalition, unlike the previous traffic light coalition. With regards to foreign policy issues and with your question on Donald Trump, I think this coalition would be a more decisive one than the previous coalition that Germany had, which will be good for the EU, given that, we've seen the political vacuum that the EU has been facing with both its traditional power centers, France and Germany, facing political turmoil at home at a time when the Russia-Ukraine war is raging on the continent. Merz intends to, strengthen ties with Paris and Warsaw, which deteriorated under Scholz. And of course, he faces the added challenge of dealing with a volatile Trump administration. We saw at the Munich Security Conference recently when Vice President J.D. Vance attacked the EU and its policies. Then you had Russian and American officials meeting in Saudi Arabia to negotiate an end to the war with no Europeans or Ukrainians invited to the room. So the US is, unlikely to continue to provide for European security. Europe will have to take care of its own security and defense going forward, given that this is a sort of complete breakdown in trust in the transatlantic alliance. So I think it's good to have somebody like Merz at the helm now. Hopefully Germany will have a more stable coalition now that will also be able to tackle the foreign policy challenges that Europe is facing at the moment, especially when it comes to its security. It's a good time, it's a good opportunity to sort of reinstate German leadership in Europe at a time of this great disruption that we are witnessing.
And also helping the situation would be the fact that Italy is on the same page as far as conservatives are concerned. And hence the statement also from us talking about how there will be replacement of the American umbrella as far as the nuclear umbrella is concerned. And there would be further cooperation, nuclear cooperation between, countries like France, the UK and Germany, among others. How do you read this statement?
Well, I think that remains to be seen. When you talk about nuclear issues, it's really only France and the UK that have nuclear weapons on the continent. But certainly, I think a nuclear deterrent, a common European nuclear deterrent could be a way forward to enhance European security. Germany, has, under the Scholz government, undergone the Zeitenwende. So, of course, it remains to be seen whether the Zeitenwende would apply to Germany's historical reticence when it comes to nuclear weapons, given its dark history in the past.